So a few months ago, I started watching Power Rangers Jungle Fury. I just wanted to rewatch one of their shows. A lot of people have been saying it's very underrated, and you know what? I believe them 100%. I want to do this video book club. I started doing it for a few weeks, and then I forgot. I forgot. That's my bad. But while watching the show and going back in my head, I was thinking about all the great parts of Jungle Fury that made it much more unique than other Power Ranger shows. Like having that wise but also pretty funny mentor RJ, the comedy cracking villain sidekick Flint, and of course, the Spirit Rangers. As a kid, these were absolutely beautiful to look at. Like, they had these helmets that were individually shaped to those auxiliary zords that we had seen earlier in this season, that's combined with the Jungle Pride Megazord dozens of times at this point. And the suits for the Spirit Rangers also had this white base, stating that these guys were much more of a jungle master than our main Jungle Fury team, which could only gain this white color in their suit once they access Jungle Master Mode. These guys are also one of a kind because they are Rangers that have not been seen in the Japanese Super Sentai of origin, that being Juken Sentai Gekiranger. And personally, I like to think that this is the first team of original straight up Power Rangers. Like, yes, we have the A Squad, which was once good but later turned evil, and the Mutant Rangers, who was not really original because it was the Japanese shot footage for Power Rangers, part of ZU2. It's confusing stuff. I made a whole video about it, and at the time, in 2008, this was the first original Rangers in the show since Titanium, like fully 100%. So I say we discuss the Spirit Rangers and what makes them essential and what makes them one of the greatest parts of Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Hey, what's up everybody, it's Este here, and today we'll be talking not just about the history of the Spirit Rangers in the show, but also the history of the Spirit Rangers in Power Rangers history, like how they came about and how their legacy looks in history and time. So the idea of the Spirit Rangers came about when there was an interview with Bandai and all the production company as to what toys they can produce out of this season of Power Rangers. And producer of the show, Jackie Marchand, had created a pitch using the main three masters the Rangers would encounter to get their auxiliary zords and have them turn into Power Rangers themselves. Because there has been this running trend in the Power Rangers twine for the last few years at the time, where they would have just like the main team of Rangers as figures, some battle up form probably. They would have the Megazord, a Morpher, a battle truck, I don't know why, a lot of Disney seasons had trucks where the Rangers would be on it, a command truck, whatever. But also vehicles, a lot of vehicles. Operation Overdrive, if you look it up, it has too many vehicles to count. I'll probably keep putting on pictures of vehicles until I stop finding pictures of vehicles to put up. And when pitching this idea, Jackie will use Tommy Oliver as a prime example to how important having an extra Ranger is on the team. As you know, Jungle Fury was quite unique. It had a trio of Rangers to start off, then their mentor RJ would come in as the fourth Ranger, the Wolf Ranger, and the sixth but not actual sixth Ranger of the team, the Rhino Ranger, would show up later, making the team a total of 5. But including 3 new Rangers in the mix added a lot more, not even just into the show, but also for toys, because you have 3 new Rangers. They're all dudes, they all get their own action figures and Zord vehicles, whatever. They got their treatment right. They got right.
Oh, say less.
Also, real quick, if this is your first time watching me, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. I know for a fact that only a small percentage of you is subscribed, so join the E Squad today. You don't want to miss out what I got next. So the 3 Spirit Rangers were dropped when the Jungle Fury toy line dropped down in the winter of 2007, as their purpose was being the pilots for the Rormax Zords, which were some of the first Zords the Rangers would gain in the series, those being like the Elephant Zord, the Shark Zord, and the Bat Zord. And when Power Rangers Jungle Fury first started, they would actually have a comic inserted in some of these toys, trying to give an explanation as to who these 3 Rangers are. As you know, they weren't in the show at the time, very early on, so they tried to explain it in some way, and that came with the comic The Beast Within. As it shows Masters Fant, Swoop, and Finn training the latest team of Rangers and mentioning how they used to be Rangers too. The comic would go to show them training under the hardest conditions, like Fant meditating under a strong blizzard, Swoop hanging from jungle vines above lava, and Finn going against the largest tidal waves every single day. And that's when we would see this little flashback fight of these pre-team of Jungle Fury Rangers fighting off some Rinchi. And this comic really focused on their powers and their special skills, We also saw these present-day masters assuming animal forms similar to the ones seen by the 7 Fist Sages in Gekiranger. Now what's weird was that, you know, these animal forms, they appeared in Gekiranger quite a lot, but not really a lot in Jungle Fury. They only showed up in the final episode. Jungle Fury just had them in, like, their human-esque form. So, some people debate how canon this comic is, but I still think it's a very interesting way to explain how these Rangers came about. And it also showed that these Rangers obviously weren't masters when they started off. They were rookies, just like our main Jungle Fury team of Rangers. So instead of having white in their suits, they would have black. Except for the Bat Ranger, who would actually have some silver. Just, you know, because, you know, a bat is black. So you can't really put black on black. Black on black is good on fashion, but probably not on a Ranger suit.
We'll be right back to Power Rangers Jungle Fury on ABC Kids.
Also, just a quick reminder, if you're not following me on social media, Twitter, Dino Fuego, Instagram, Not Fuego, what are you doing? That's it.
Real talk, you gotta be ashamed of yourself.
We're back to Power Rangers Jungle Fury on ABC Kids.
Now, even though Ranger fans had found these individual action figures quite early on, the existence of these Rangers in the show were kept quiet for the first few months of the show's release. And later on, everyone's favorite Japanese tokusatsu related like little magazine, Terebi-kun, actually gave some leaks over for the Japan audience for some reason about what was to come in Jungle Fury. And with that, we had published photos in 2 consecutive issues with all 3 of the action figure Rangers in Jungle Master Mode-alike outfits. And there were also summaries that were supporting these photos, beginning with the episode 23 of the show, Fear of the Phantoms, which was the first time we saw the return of these characters in the show. So decades, millenniums, I don't even know, eras after they were a first team of Power Rangers, and even probably months after helping the actual team of Jungle Fury Rangers fighting these auxiliary zords and conquering their fears, they had been captured by Dai Shi and would be forced to release their animal spirits as physical manifestations of their previous Ranger forms. Only now their suits would have white bases instead of black, and I think this is a really cool idea in Power Rangers in general, having a Ranger not actually be present in the battle, like someone is controlling them from afar. And that's what the Spirit Rangers were in a way. It was these masters not really controlling them, they were being mind controlled to control these physical manifestations. It's a cool idea, I like it. And the villains would do this by using the Crystal Eyes, which were mythical objects that imprisoned the Phantom Beast generals many years ago. So this team of villains would control the Jungle Masters to fight the good guys of the show. And this team of Spirit Rangers would actually have their individual weapons with them too, stuff that the Jungle Fury Rangers also used in the past. So really it was the Jungle Fury Rangers seeing their exact powers used against them. So we saw the return of weapons such as the Jungle Mace, the Jungle Fan, and the Shark Sabers used against our team of good guys. Real quick though, I want to see how many Jungle Fury fans are out there watching this video right now. So if you're a fan of the Power Rangers Jungle Fury show, give this video a big ol' like, because 1,500 likes, and I'll talk more about how cool this show is. But using his technical abilities, we would have our mentor RJ. He would find a way to kind of resolve this solution in a way, for now. He would create a device that would essentially match the frequencies the spirits of the Spirit Rangers would be at, and just kind of cancel them out, essentially dissolving the connection between the Spirit Ranger and the Master itself. When you hit the Spirit Ranger, the Master just kind of tweaks out for a second, and the Spirit Ranger would disappear.
I don't feel so good.
Later on, RJ would make a modification to the claw cannon, which was the Ranger's main, like, you know, trio little blaster type thing, so that when you shoot at the Spirit Rangers, it disappears. The connection between Spirit Master, that's gone, but not just that, the Master would be released from their chains and be free. And RJ would do that by adding the Elephant, Bat, and Shark animal spirits to cancel out the powers of the Spirit Rangers. First using it with the Shark Spirit Ranger that would trap Master Finn in a crystal eye. And let me remind you guys that Master Finn, spoiler alert for Jungle Fury, it's an old show, have you seen it by now, is RJ's dad. So there's a family connection, and family matters are in here.
Did I do that?
But here we see Flint, that funny little fly, take that eye and actually give it to RJ, freeing the Master. And then we would see Finn and RJ enter the evil villain base and free the other two masters along with them. And when free from the control of the villains, they are free to summon the Spirit Rangers on their own, which in theory enhances their skills and control of their individual combat abilities. However, they would eventually pass on these summoning abilities to the Pai Schwa team of Rangers, our latest team of Rangers, giving them the power to summon the Master Team into battle whenever they please. So the Spirit Rangers became an evil team of Rangers and eventually turned to an additional team of Rangers that our main team can just spawn out of nowhere at any time using their animal sphere, which is pretty sick. And even in the last episode of Jungle Fury, we would see our Jungle Masters teaming up with their Spirit Power Ranger forms, which proved to be an epic final battle in the show. What's unique about the Spirit Rangers is their history as an original Power Ranger, that they don't really get a lot of love. I don't really see any Spirit Ranger keys. That was a mouthful. There are no Spirit Ranger keys out there. And neither of any of the Spirit Rangers actually appeared in any of the future Power Ranger video games, especially like Legacy Wars and Battle for the Grid either, which I think is a big missing opportunity because this is a whole team of original Power Rangers that appeared in the show, fight alongside the Rangers, but don't really get the credit that they deserve. And we hadn't really seen any re-releases of any action figures from the Spirit Rangers as well, neither in like a Lightning collection, Legacy collection. No collection has included a Spirit Ranger in there yet. And with these suits being so cool and just the idea of them just being so unique and different to Power Rangers, I would love to see these guys given some more love. What do you guys think? Do you love the Spirit Rangers? Who is your favorite of the three? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, TheDonFuego. I'm also on Instagram, NotDonFuego. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at. And of course, and as always, stay awesome, everybody.